Welcome back to the Ultimate Beef Loving Texan, where Johnny and Danielle are competing for the UBLT title. It's down to the wire. This round, both contestants will be showing off their ultimate Beef Loving Texan recipe. Last episode, Johnny and Danielle made their delicious steak recipes. And remember, they're competing for this, the UBLT belt buckle, and a 12-month partnership with Beef Loving Texan. Here we go, round 3. How are y'all feeling?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah, excited for round 3.
I think the judges have been very impressed so far. From what I know, it is neck and neck, so this is gonna be the deciding factor, this dish. No pressure though.
Yeah, right.
The third round is chef's choice, so each cook will be giving their ultimate beef loving recipe. Danielle, what are you cooking for us?
So I have a filet mignon steak sandwich with a chimichurri sauce.
Ooh, I mean,
Pulling out the big guns.
you're pulling out the big guns on that one, Danielle. Johnny, what are you gonna be making for us?
Filet mignon was definitely my choice too.
Yeah.
Do a little different. We're gonna go upscale, but a little rustic. So I'm gonna cook a beef Wellington out on the pellet grill. I call it BBQ Wellington. So we're gonna have that with some roasted asparagus, and it should be a tremendous dish if I pull it off.
My mouth is already watering. The real winners of this competition are the judges, because we've gotten to eat all of y'all's dishes and we are really looking forward to this final round. And remember guys, this one's for all the marbles.
And the buckle.
And the buckle.
The buckle.
The buckle.
That's it, yeah.
Good luck.
Look, yes ma'am.
Yeehaw!
Go get him,
It's
Tigers.
for all the marbles.
All the marbling.
I ran out of puns like 2 episodes ago.
From what it sounds, it is neck and neck between these two contestants.
It's very tight competition. What I really like is that everyone's using the most expensive cut.
You know, I think at this point, to me, it's like, I want someone to just go for it, take a big risk, like just go for the win. I want a KO.
What I'm hearing you say is, I want someone to take that filet, core it out, stuff it with cheese, bread it, deep fry it.
Exactly.
All right. I feel like the thorn between two roses here, to be honest with you. But I look like I walked in at just the right time, because that looks like beef fat.
That is a little beef tallow going in there. So we're gonna do beef tallow both ways. I'm gonna sear up those steaks first.
So are you doing individual Wellingtons?
Individual
rather than
Wellingtons. Everybody loves the crust. When you do a regular beef Wellington, how much crust do you actually get? Not a whole lot. So by doing an individual Wellington, we get a whole lot of crust
You
in
do,
there.
you get that good pastry action.
And our duxelle is in.
So how far are you gonna cook this down? Because normally you want it to be quite a paste, right?
I do not do a paste. I'm doing a little more rustic.
Okay.
So that's why I did not go as fine. Everything will cook down smaller than it is, but I think you'll like it. A little more coarse, a little more rustic, but again, we're cooking it out on the grill, so
Yeah.
that's part of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Don't let me stop you.
No,
Keep
no.
moving. I'm just admiring those
You're
fillets.
good. Those
They
are pretty
look-
fillets, aren't they?
They are. They've got beautiful marbling in them, and often with this cut, you just don't see that.
Texas beef, dear. It's looking beautiful.
Danielle, what's happening over here aside from Johnny encroaching on your cooking area?
I'm about to start caramelizing some onions. I have my chimichurri now in the works as well. I'm gonna do a whole grain mustard and mayo. I'll lay that down and then I'll put the onions on top of that. And a piece of pepper jack cheese as well.
Ooh, okay, toasting the bread or not
Toasting, yeah, toasting it for sure.
And I'm not trying to give you any tips, but if he has any more beef fat left over and you feel like you want to smear the bread and toast it with
Ooh,
that,
yeah.
I'm just saying. How are you planning to cook the filet and how are you planning to slice the filet?
So I'm gonna be cooking it in a cast iron with some butter, rosemary, 3 to 5 minutes, if that, on each side. And then again, if I need to finish it in the oven, I'll do it again in the oven.
Sorry, Johnny, it's all happening. Wait, I need to hear that. All right.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you.
It's round 3. What are you seeing so far, Jess?
Two very different dishes, even though they use the same cut. So Johnny has made this recipe before, he's practiced it, and he's doing individual Wellingtons. He wants us each to have a really generous amount of pastry and generous amount of steak. I was a little concerned that it's gonna come out nice and golden. That pellet grill's really gotta be hot enough. Sometimes the temperature they display is not the actual temperature. And if you don't have a nice high heat, puff doesn't puff properly, it'll be a little stodgy. The other thing is, within a Wellington, you usually have a duxelle, which is like a mushroom paste.
Right.
And Johnny's gone for a really coarse, rustic version of onions and mushrooms. He sort of said it wanted it to match a rustic outdoors cook, but if you don't get all the water out of the mushrooms, you're gonna get soggy pastry.
Is he wrapping the tenderloin in any kind of jamon or prosciutto?
You got any other layers aside from duxelle?
No, I'm not. A lot of times, you know, you're worried you'll use the prosciutto on top or something like that to seal it off. I'm just gonna paint it with Dijon mustard and do that. It tends to do all right for me that way.
Have you done them as individual Wellingtons before?
Yes.
Okay.
I am still a little bit concerned. Without those barriers, there's just the potential for
soggy.
that pastry to be soggy.
Yeah.
I do like the smell, but I have my share of concerns. Here I come. Johnny, here's my question for you. We're at the 30-minute mark. Are you okay time-wise? You have a lot to do.
I got 32 minutes and 37 seconds.
Okay. And
So I've got
that's all right.
5 minutes to get them on that pellet grill out there.
Okay, well, you get to it. Now, I want to talk to my friend here who apparently seems to be really dialed in for this round. What do you think you got to do to pull this thing off, to get this thing over the finish line?
Have my chimichurri work for me. I just restarted it. I just didn't like the way that it blended in that blender. I'm just gonna rough chop it and add in the cilantro.
You're gonna mix it by hand versus using the food processor,
Yeah.
right? So we're kind of hitting back to what happened in round one. Some of this isn't some of the equipment you're used to using at home, right?
Correct.
The best chimichurri I've ever had is just mixed by hand. So I'm happy you're going this direction. What's up with the steaks? What's up with the rest of this sandwich?
So I have my onions right now that are being caramelized. Need to add some sherry in here, and then I'll be able to get working on my sandwich.
All right, so
toasting it.
you're cooking these down, letting those sugars brown a bit. Then you're
Yes.
gonna deglaze with some sherry vinegar?
Sherry wine.
Sherry wine.
Yeah.
Okay, ooh la la.
Yes.
It's getting classy in here. Sherry wine, Wellington. All right, here comes the good stuff.
Yes.
Glug, glug, glug.
All right.
So this is gonna go on the sandwich with the steak and the chimney. Anything
Yes.
else I'm missing?
I have some pepper jack cheese. Also, I'm gonna do like a mayonnaise and mustard blend as well.
This went from like steak sandwich to full-blown hoagie. All right, well, I'm gonna let you get back to it. Good luck, Danielle.
Thank you.
Do you think her sandwich is a big enough swing to compete with what Johnny's doing?
I feel like if she nails every element and everything is well seasoned, well thought out, balanced, and well executed, and most importantly, that filet has to be perfect. How do you feel about it?
I wanted to see maybe a bigger wrist instead of a sandwich, but if she knocks her socks off with a sandwich,
She's been very good with her flavors.
that's what I was gonna say. We have someone who has like understood technique and like cooked these very well and almost to perfection, but has lacked maybe a little bit of flavor, right? And we have someone who's given us like bold and mad flavors and maybe has had trouble executing the cook.
Danielle and Johnny, you're nearly there. You guys have crushed it all day and you're headed towards the finish line.
We're gonna make it.
Get it, Johnny. Let's go.
Oh, baby. How excited look?
Oh, he's got it, bro. He's got it.
You do Wellingtons?
I don't, because they're really hard.
Danielle, how are you feeling? Are you on time with everything?
Don't underestimate the timing on it, okay?
Okay.
And our lesson on cooking asparagus now. They don't even look. They don't even look this way. Nobody shows up when you're cooking the vegetables, right?
Johnny,
Yes, ma'am.
what temperature do you have that pellet grill at?
It's set at 430. Normally I cook 425 for 25, 430, hoping it takes a few minutes off. So when the bell rings, it'll stay on there till the bell rings. When the bell rings, we'll pull it, and it should be golden. And
It just got to temp now. It was like at 407, 410. But at the end of the day, you have air circulating there, so it becomes more like a convection oven in here. So that might help a little bit.
Final 5 minutes. How are you doing over here?
I'm good. I'm about to finish cooking down my bread and some beef fat. I have the other half of the bread in the oven. I'm gonna put some mayo and mustard on it as well, and then I'm slicing up my beef. It was just resting, slicing it up, and should be ready here momentarily.
Very excited. It smells good. It looks good. These are just two very different dishes, so I am thrilled that I get to try both. 5 minutes left, Johnny. This is the final round. How are you feeling? Everything's on the grill.
I'm nervous. We got
Okay.
the Wellingtons are over here.
Okay.
I've got my asparagus is already steaming, so I'm good with that. In fact, I'd probably turn that off and let it finish steaming. They're gonna be good. Not quite what I wanted on them, but the Wellingtons are gonna be it. So we're cooking 5 to 10 degrees hotter than I normally do.
To try and make up for
So
some
we're
time.
thinking we're gonna make up a little time on that, and we're not gonna open it till they go, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna lift the lid, pull it out.
I think that's
In fact, we might ought to get some hot pads for that. What do you think?
I think that's a smart move. Let me go find those for
We're
you.
getting close. Just what we needed.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hungry yet? You're already in the right place. All of the recipes you've seen throughout the Ultimate Beef Loving Texan are ready for you to try on beeflovingtexans.com, along with so many more that your friends and family will love.
All right. Go.
Danielle, it's the final round. Please tell us the process of this dish.
Okay, so I have for y'all a filet mignon chimichurri sandwich. I caramelized the onions with a little bit of sherry. I cooked the fillets down with some butter and some rosemary in a cast iron skillet. When I was letting that rest, I made my chimichurri sauce, toasted my bread and a little bit of the beef fat as well. And then I finished it off with some pepper jack cheese and then a little bit of a mayonnaise and mustard, and then built my sandwich.
I would say your strength throughout the last rounds has been your flavor profiles. They've been amazing, and this is no different to me.
Thank you.
Miguel, how are you feeling about this dish?
I mean, it's a great sandwich, It's nice. The bread's toasted nice to where it's not gonna break your teeth, It's soft, it's buttery. The steak's cooked really nice, but I want more aromatics in chimichurri. I want, that parsley and use cilantro as well.
Cilantro and parsley, yes.
I
And then I
would've-
used rosemary also to cook down the filet, some butter, rosemary, basted it as well in the cast iron. 3 minutes on each side, and then finished it off in the oven to get that nice temperature.
I mean, I'm not gonna kick the sandwich out of bed.
I like that.
It's a great sandwich. I'm gonna stop right there.
Olive?
I gotta tell you, when I picked up the sandwich and I saw that first bite, the steak's gone now, but it was like a great cook, great sear on the outside. Now I will tell you, in my head, what I imagined was not a sandwich that was kind of this almost strikes me as kind of like not a tea sandwich, but kind of almost hors d'oeuvre-like, you know what I mean? Like something you'd get. Yeah, it's dainty, diminutive. Perfect bite. I love all the layers in there too. I think you did a great job with the onions. It's very good. It's very good. The one thing I'll tell you though is funny. It's I think I ran out of steak a little bit.
I got some more on the side if you need a little more.
Oh, there
I'll
you
give
go.
I'll give you some
Well
more.
played, chef. Well
Got some
played.
more.
When it comes down to it, when you have an idea of the flavors you want to execute, those flavors do deliver. So well done there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jess, how are you feeling about it?
I think it's a really tasty sandwich. Most importantly, you cook the meat beautifully, which is, when it comes to filet, that's what we were looking for. I, like Ali, was expecting sort of a bigger sandwich. I think an easy way you can do that sometimes to build it out visually is just to take an arugula or something and just pile it high, and then it gives you that height. And don't be afraid to be a bit more generous with the meat, even if it's not always practical to eat. No one's gonna complain about more steak. For me, have you ever had mignonette with oysters?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So to
you're right.
me, this
Dead
is
on.
a mignonette,
Yes.
which is heavy red wine, lovely shallot. Here's the thing, I think this worked great with the sandwich, but to me, this isn't chimichurri at all. As long as you rename this, nearly like a mignonette dressing or something like
what it
that.
is, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
There it
then
is.
I think you're good.
I was expecting something different, but this thing almost hits you like kind of like a meaty grilled cheese.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you know what, grilled cheese?
An
You think
elite.
bacon's cool? Nah. Sorry, bacon. I want a little seared filet mignon.
I've been very impressed with you. So, regardless of the outcome, I really think you need to be proud of yourself. You're very good at flavor profiles, and I have been very spoiled with my meals today from you. So thank you very much for
We all
your,
have.
your contribution.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chef.
And we got one for the look. How about that?
Oh, okay.
Oh, let me see the. You got a little star.
You did, yeah, you did. Lone Star, right? Let me leave this down here on the end. How about that?
Oh, so that means
work?
I get that. Great.
Johnny, a barbecue Wellington. How did the final cook go for you?
Well, down to the last second, right?
Yeah.
I think it came out good. The thing about doing a Wellington is you never know till you open it up. I do a little different. I do a little more rustic. We got that going. I think it came out pretty good. We were looking for medium rare. Might be a little bit closer going toward medium. It really had some marbling going through it that looked really nice. So I don't think I've dried it out. And your Duxelles is mushrooms, parsley, a white onion, and also some green onion in there.
Would you change anything about your cook?
More time.
That's fair.
I think that would be the one. I would like to see the steaks with a little more rareness to them.
Okay.
Could have been a little bit too long of a sear. I usually try to sear for 2 minutes per side. Still, I think it's a beautiful dish. I think it came out nice.
Do you know what temp you brought them up to when you seared them?
No, I never do. I go when I use an 8 ounce, I go 2 minutes per side, and it's normally a 25 minutes in the pellet grill. And when you open it up, you find out did I do it or not. So that's kind of exciting too. When you cut it open, you go, woo.
I mean, it is the dish to serve on a final round of a competition, I have to say. You're swinging big here. So, Jess, we did have some concerns about the pastry, the softness of it. Can you tell me how it turned out?
Yeah, I'm surprised because I thought for sure your rustic Duxelles was going to just leach moisture in. And I think you got that puff finish on it, honestly.
Part of it is the sauteing. So you take it just to almost dry. Then we added our wine and take that one almost dry. So you try to get that moisture out of it before it goes into that puff pastry.
I do think the filet's a little over. It still eats well, but
Totally agree.
I was nervous for you and
I was nervous.
you
for
showed
me.
me wrong, so thank you.
Thank you.
I have Miguel sitting over here, and he's dissecting his plate like a science experiment. So I would love to hear your thoughts.
I just like, this is the most well-balanced seasoned dish you put out.
Thank you.
I really do. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat anything. I think like it was a really challenging dish for you to do. It's a great tasting dish, man.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
that beef needs to be cooked right.
No, I don't argue a bit. I actually had these for dinner Sunday. So we did a little practice run for the wife. And if she had yours right now, she would be tickled pink. She would give you the one I handed her on Sunday, you know? So the challenge was there. And did I not quite get there? Yeah, didn't quite get there. But I think it's still a very, very good dish.
It's very delicious.
We didn't take it past medium, which is wonderful. I would have, had to kick myself then. But it was a nice
They
nice
actually
medium.
escort you out of the state if that happens. So we're glad you're still here
Pull
too.
my Texas card real quick. But
Ollie, you were talking about it being neck and neck prior to this round. You were really looking for a knockout. How do you feel about Johnny's final dish?
Yeah, the competition between you and Danielle, it has been neck and neck, and I think on paper, you set out to do something that was pretty much a KO, and just off principle of effort, you really did that. You nailed it in terms of going, this year was a little heavy. But it wasn't dry. It wasn't a deal killer, that's for sure. I did find the pastry is a little bit soft, but what really shined here to me is like perfectly balanced seasoned plate. I want to try what you're going to cook next. I really appreciate that in the show.
One thing that I really appreciate about you is you're clearly cooking from the heart. Every dish is representing a story and your personality, and I feel like I know who you are today after trying all of your dishes. So great job. I know that this is a tough competition. I know you guys had time constraints, but I think that we've gotten some really great results out of this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to put the love in there. When you put the love in there, dishes come together and people enjoy it.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Guys, well, we have a decision to make.
Big
so-
decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
you
y'all.
so much. It's interesting because over the course of the competition, we've been really impressed with Danielle's flavor profiles and his cooking of the beef, but they kind of swapped places for this final round. It was pretty interesting. What do you guys think about the final dish?
I mean, I felt like with Johnny's dish, I got what I expected out of a round 3 finish. You know, I got like a full-on entree. And, you know, I'm a little torn. Like, on one hand, I see Danielle's dish that wasn't what I expected. It was almost like kind of like an hors d'oeuvre, you know, or like kind of like, you know, it's like when you did the cocktail hour.
Sandwich.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's like cocktail hour at the wedding. Whereas what Johnny was doing was ambitious, and there were some things that didn't go perfectly, but like I just respect that effort. You
For
know?
sure.
A lot of effort in there, and honestly, like the seasoning was perfect, and
Yes.
that wasn't always the case. And what I appreciate in the competition is what you learn as you go on.
Over the course of the cook, Johnny paid attention to some of the pointers we were giving him, having under-seasoned dishes in the beginning and having a final dish that was seasoned perfectly with maybe a slightly overcooked beef. It might be able to be forgiven just a little bit because we've seen what he can do. On the other hand, you know, she came out with flavors every time that surprised me.
I think what you're thinking is exactly an extension of where I'm at, which is especially in this final round. He didn't cook the tenderloin well, but man, did he try one of the most difficult dishes out there to just show us that he is here for it. On the other hand, Danielle put great flavors together, but honestly, so underwhelming to see that half little sandwich come out for the final round. We have had neck and neck the entire way. Both of these people love to cook. Both of these people love to put together flavors.
I mean, it's challenging. The score is cumulative. We can't base it off of one dishes. It's throughout all 3. And, you know, Danielle impressed me more on a couple and Johnny did on a couple.
And they're just so different in their strengths. This is impossible.
I think we have a tough decision ahead.
I mean, I have a pretty strong feeling. I'll just say it. But I won't until after the commercial break.
2023's Ultimate Beef Loving Texan.
This is like some of the best brisket that's being made in Texas right now.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Can't get enough Kelsey, Jess, and Miguel? We don't blame you. Check out BarbeQuest on BeefLovingTexans.com. Stream all 3 seasons today.
Danielle, Johnny, thank you so much for your dishes, for your time. We were all very impressed and very well fed throughout this show.
Definitely.
I will say it was not a unanimous decision. It was very tough. So without further ado, 2023's Ultimate Beef Loving Texan is Johnny Stewart. Johnny, please collect your belt
Go ahead, my
buckle.
belt buckle.
Raise it up high for everyone to see.
To the sky.
Can we do the WWE?
Hell yeah.
We can do whatever
Yeah.
you want, sir.
Great.
Put that one over your shoulder.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank y'all so much.
You bet.
What do you say? What do you say? I didn't think I was going to be in the top 2, and I did not think that I would outdo Danielle. Thank y'all very much.
It was tough, but
Yeah.
we value the way that you're bringing in your story to every single dish. That was very influential in the decision, and we're honored to have tasted these dishes of y'all's today.
Thank you.
You're a perfect person to inspire other people who are looking to cook beef better and just to be a great teacher, you know, which you already are. Which you are, so there you go.
I'm not often without words, but I truly am without words because I am shocked. I love Texas beef. I love Texas. I tell everyone that everywhere.
You know how I know? Read your belt buckle, bruh.
Yeah, right.
You're the ultimate beef loving Texan.
That's pretty special right there, without a doubt.
You did the work, man.
Yeah, you did.
All right, guys, that is it for the first ever Ultimate Beef Loving Texan Challenge. Woo, congrats, Johnny.
Thank you.
Well done, my friend.
Thanks for watching the 2023 Ultimate Beef Loving Texan Showdown. You're already on the site where you can see all of the recipes that you've seen right there at home. So give one a try today.